The residential real estate market could best be described today as frozen or stuck. Overall sales even contracting. But that's not the case on the high end, where luxury sales are up and have reached an all-time median high price above $1.2 million. Let's talk about the reality of real estate today with the star of $1 Million Listing Los Angeles, now in its 15th season, which is remarkable. Tracy Tutor. Tracy, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Dave.
Thanks for being here at the Stock Exchange.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So you've been through this show for many years, so you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of the real estate market. How would you describe it now?
It's a difficult market, no doubt. I mean, coming out of the pandemic, we were seeing some of the quickest sales, some of the highest prices, particularly in the ultra high net worth clients and the luxury network in LA. And now with interest rates going up, there's been a massive shift. So sales are few and far between. You know, trades that were happening in 2 to 4 weeks' time 2 years ago are now taking more than 6 months to sell. It's a difficult time, particularly in Los Angeles.
You're so tame here because in the clip to show season 15, you said the market sucks.
It does. It does.
Like, be honest with the folks.
I mean, I am, you guys. It's rough out there, but everybody's experiencing it.
Yeah.
They know it. We know it. And the media is always talking about it. So we're living it, and we're living it on the show this season.
We can be candid here, Tracy. All right, just like the show. So high rates, low inventory, that's really been the story. And you get a good glimpse because you're in Texas now and California.
Yes.
How are you seeing the impact of those high rates, low inventory?
Same in Dallas and Austin. We're experiencing that sort of across the board, and I think all over the country. But LA has taken a little bit of a worse hit with the mansion tax, so there's an even bigger struggle for us in the city of Los Angeles.
That mansion tax, most people don't know about it, and why they should. It is just in California, but a lot of California laws tend to spread across the country if they work. It taxes homes above $5 million,
yes. Well,
and then
now
an additional rate
yes.
above 10.
Yeah, so now they've adjusted it to $5,150,000, and the mansion tax is at 4%, and then north of $10 million and change, the mansion tax is at 5.5%.
What's been the impact for those markets that are considering this across the country?
I mean, think about it. For sellers out there that maybe bought their house 3 or 4 years ago, and they're now having to turn around in the city of Los Angeles and sell that house, whatever equity they had or built over the last 4 years, they can't afford to sell because it's going to cost them 10+% on the ultra high net worth end, and they can't do it. So they're losing money. So that's why there's no inventory in Los Angeles, but then buyers can't transact because interest rates are so high. So it's making it just stale, everybody.
Really strange timing given the dynamic of the real estate market, but government doesn't always appreciate that. All right, I want to ask you about something on X. It was Nick Jerley. He's the CEO of Reventure Consulting, a real estate company. They say a massive housing bubble has developed and is about to pop in the South. The number of new homes for sale in the southern region has spiked up to nearly 300,000, the highest level of all time, even higher than the previous bubble peak in August '06. That's before a massive crash. Nick Jerley, a ton of followers on X. Do you see a bubble that could burst in the South? They do cite Austin, Texas among them.
I mean, Austin obviously grew at a rapid pace, particularly in the last 10 years. I think we're already seeing the effects of that. You know, trades aren't happening as much as they were 5 years ago. And I only came into the Austin market 2 years ago. Yeah. So I'm sort of beginning to see that. Agents that got into the business 3 years ago, 4 years ago at the height of the market are all fumbling. And, you know, we're going to see a lot of agents lose their licenses this year and not continue on.
It's interesting you bring up agents because the Justice Department going after agents, the commissions, they say that 5 to 6% is far too high. It is the highest in all the developed world. In fact, by far, in the UK, it's just around 1%. In Germany, it's around 4%, for example. Are real estate commissions too high? And what's been the impact on the industry of the Justice Department coming after them?
Absolutely not. I don't believe that. I think that we as agents, and I think I speak on behalf of most agents in this country, would agree that they aren't, because we work for free, everybody. We are not paid an hourly. So we can work for 6 months on a deal until that actually transacts. We're working for free. So it's my opinion that I think we're going to have a lot of struggle with this new broker commission challenge. And I think that we're going to have a lot of agents that are not going to do business, which means the onus of people like myself that are doing listings are going to maybe make more money in the short term, and then brokerages ultimately are going to suffer. And so it's going to change the model drastically.
The estimate is that it'll take 30% away from the $100 billion in commissions that were collected in the most recent year. Will that lead to an exodus of agents across the country?
I think so. I think it will. But I also think, in the luxury market, for example, there aren't a lot of people that are going to transact without proper representation. And by taking away, this ability to pay the buyer's broker a commission, you're leaving it wide open for sellers to then take buyers directly. And that can create drama, lawsuits, and obviously a dual agency where they're not represented properly on both sides. For example, who gets a divorce with the same attorney? No one. It's the same with real estate. You're transacting at the highest level. It's your greatest asset. You want proper representation, but you have to pay for it.
As someone who lives in a market where there's no inventory and high demand, you do understand how some people are like, my God, I just paid $30,000, $40,000 for a home that sold in 2 days, and they didn't even have an open house.
Right.
So should it be more flexible?
So we're clear, negotiations on commissions have always been there. Every contract, every broker commission has always been negotiable.
Yeah.
For some reason, the media likes to pitch it like it hasn't been. Certainly, that's always been my experience. That's always a conversation I'm having with my clients. But listen, you want to get buyers through the door of your listing, you better be willing to pay a commission to that buyer's agent or they're not going to come.
All right, also impacting employment in real estate is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
That could conceptually lead to lower jobs, but also making your job easier. How are you using AI, and what's been the impact?
Oh my God, I think AI is actually an incredible tool, and AI will never really replace what we do as agents. It's too much of a personal touch that's necessary.
Sure.
But in terms of website development, being able to track your leads, being able to pick up on what your buyers are looking at online is all done with AI, and it's much more efficient than me sitting down at the computer every day, or an assistant or a team member of mine and working for hours on lead generation. AI can do that for you.
I was stunned recently to write an entire cover letter with ChatGPT. Are you using AI
All the time.
home listings to describe homes?
All the time. Most of our copy now we'll submit, the stats of what we're representing, and it will spit back out something to us in 5 minutes. We'll tweak it and we'll send it off versus spending. I'm not a copywriter. I'm a real estate agent, right? So for me, it saves a lot of time, a lot of hours, and so AI for us has been really beneficial.
Perhaps the best case of how it just makes your job
Yes.
easier and more efficient. All right, so 15th season of the show. That's longer than Friends or Seinfeld.
Well,
Think about that.
Yeah, that's
Friends
pretty
or
amazing. That's
Seinfeld.
pretty amazing.
What does that mean to you? How do you keep a show fresh when it's been on that long?
I think ultimately it's the relationships. Josh Flagg, Josh Altman, myself, and Heather are all friends. We love each other. We all sell real estate very differently. So being on a show together has been really fun for me. I mean, the last 6 years of doing this has been a ride, and I wouldn't change a thing. And, being on a network like Bravo has also been a gift. And so they kind of let us do our thing at this point.
Any juicy tidbits to give us about this season? Any divas that really stretch the reality of real estate?
The truth is, I think what you're going to see this season that I think a lot of other reality shows surrounding real estate aren't doing is tell the truth.
Yeah.
We are talking about how difficult the market is. We're losing deals. We're fighting like hell to keep our jobs and keep our staff paid. And it's not fun, but I think that's something that you won't see on a lot of different shows. And you're going to watch us, who are typically doing hundreds of millions of transactions annually, lose 25 to 35 to 50% of our business in the last year, and that's not fun.
No, that doesn't sound like a whole lot
But
of
it's
fun.
drama.
So you described the market as it sucks, which I appreciate. How would you describe your relationship with the Joshes?
Well, their relationship currently sucks. I'm really close with both of them. I love Josh Flagg. I love traveling with him. He's like a little baby brother to me. And Josh Altman, I have a lot of respect for him as a career person, but also as a husband and father. He's just a good dude at the end of the day.
Yeah, always see him parenting, whether it's on Instagram or on the show. And last question, are you shooting for 20 years or what's the goal with the show?
I mean, God willing, if the fans still enjoy our show and they still want to keep watching us, then we are still going to come back and do it again.
All right, Tracy Tutor, $1 Million Listing Los Angeles on Bravo, Wednesdays, 9 p.m., 15th season. Great to have you here. Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks so much, Dave.